We got another revenge film. I'm seeing a lot of revenge films. This one, though, I got to tell you something. Wow. You missed the first 5 minutes of this film, you have missed the film. Okay, yeah, the film I am reviewing today was recommended by a relative. Yeah, I think a new maniac. I don't recognize the call sign. Okay, here we go. Yo, I'm just gonna spell this. I'm not gonna say it. Yo, Shithehead Hunter 8104. That's quite a handle you got there, my friend. The film that he or she, I'm not sure which, wanted me to watch was Badlapur from 2015. It's directed by Sriram Raghavan, who directed Merry Christmas and Hanhoon, which I loved. Taboo was just evil in that. And Agent Vinod. The cast: Varun Dhawan, who was in Border 2, Thamma, Baby John, again, recently Border 2. One of my favorite, Amir Khan, SRK, Fa. But this guy, I'm really liking his films more and more. Nawazuddin Siddiqui, Gangs of Wasseypur, Thamma, Sacred Games. I've seen him in a ton of stuff. In fact, I'm going to do a review on Rot, Alekai, High, The Bansal Murders. Um, Excellent actor. Yami Gautam, who was in URI, The Surgical Strike, Article 370, and Doom Dhaam, which I really liked. Most people didn't. I liked it. Huma Qureshi, who was in Gangs of Wasseypur, Jolly, LLB3, and Maalik. And Pratima Kazmi, who was in EK Hasinathi and Merry Christmas. Now, the title, Badlapur, yes, it is a location where this was filmed, but it also refers to Badla, meaning revenge, and bad love, which means a transformation. And both things are front and center in this film. Now, this was something, and I didn't look this up. I didn't research this, but I wanted to ask you to tell me what this means. So, with this film, Varun, who was doing rom coms, that's what he was known for, broke the chocolate boy image. That's what it said in the write up. And I have no idea what that means. What's chocolate boy image mean? I don't know what that means. In research for this role, Varun watched Breaking Bad, Dexter, and Fargo to prepare for the role. And if you haven't seen any of those, awesome. All three, awesome. And finally, and this I found fascinating. Nawazuddin was not given dialogue. He improvised all his scenes, which to me, I would never have guessed that. There's a couple scenes you sometimes you can tell when someone's improvising, but not everything. Okay, so the story, the theme of the story is revenge, and this is a film where up is down and down is up. You don't know who to root for in this film. It starts off, and it's an unbelievable opening to a film that sets everything up. Uh, Nawazuddin and Harmon, or I should use his character name, Layak and Harmon rob a bank. They carjack Varun, who is Raghav, or Raghu, they call him too, his wife and son, I think it was. His son, right? I think it was a son. Was it a son? Jeez, I should know that. I think it was a son. Maybe it was a daughter. I saw another movie where with this happened, and it might have been swapped, but I'm not 100% sure. Wait, let me Let me see if it says yeah, it says child, so it doesn't even say the sex of the child. I think it was a boy. So they carjack, they got the money, the cops are going after him, and the little kid gets thrown out of the car and gets killed. Nawazuddin panics, pulls out a gun, shoots the wife. They're being pursued. He slows down a little bit, lets Harmon get out, run up the hill with the money while he takes off. Now he gets caught. And it opens in the year 2000, okay? Now, Varun Raghav is doing a ad campaign from some trans thing, and he's making a big presentation. Everyone goes crazy on it. Now he gets a phone call of what happened, and he goes to the hospital in an absolutely heartbreakingly brutal scene. She dies right in front of him, and he plays it like you feel it. That's how this movie starts. Okay, so if you walk in a little bit late, you're not going to get it. So now the film takes place over years, where Layak is interrogated, and he says, "Oh, he was just driving. He was completely innocent." This is what I mean about this film. You hate this guy. He's a lying weasel. Because Raghav goes in to see him, and he goes, "Oh, sir, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. I'm so sorry." He goes to touch his feet, bless him, and he did it, right? We, the audience, know he did it, but he's playing innocent. Well, he gets convicted. He goes to jail. Now it's parallel stories. It's Raghav wanting his revenge on Layak and the partner who is unknown, and Layak in jail. And through the course of the film, Raghav becomes more violent, more duplicitous, more evil. And Layak, who you just think he's a weasel, and you want him to get his comeuppance, that changes as the film progresses. Because the things that Raghav does to get his revenge to innocent people is awful. So you're rooting for him to get his revenge. You want him to get his revenge. But what he does to the people to get that revenge, again, including innocent people. I mean, there's a scene where the partner, he's finally told who the partner is because Layak's mother told him because he's up for parole, or Layak has cancer and only a year to live, and he's got 1 year left on his sentence. And if they get a letter from Raghav, they'll let him go early so he can die outside of prison. So that's how he gets who the partner is. Well, he ingratiates himself with the partner's wife, this lovely, lovely woman. Um, was it that wasn't Yami, was it? No, no, that's his wife. His wife was Yami, who died. But she was beautiful, and she was nice. But she was married to Harmon, the partner who stole the money, who owns a restaurant. I think even owns a hotel. So he is playing Harmon to get back at Layak, who's getting out of jail, who wants his half of the money. Well, there's a disturbing scene in the film where Harmon's not there. Raghav goes back to the house, and there was a scene earlier where he was gonna sleep with the guy's wife to get back at him, but he didn't. He pretended like he did, but nothing happened. Well, now he comes back, and he has a blue sari with him, and he says to her, "Take a shower, put this blue sari on, and we're gonna finish what we were supposed to do before." And she's upset about it, but she takes the shower, she puts on the sari, she walks out, the whole room's covered in plastic, and he goes up behind her and bashes her head in, and it is When she came out of that bathroom with the plastic all over the walls, I was like, oh my god. And then Harmon comes in and he, basically does the same thing to Harmon. Awful. So he's become what he's trying to get revenge against. Now Layak, on the other hand, is starting to panic because he can't get his money, and then there's a great scene between the two of them where Layak ambushes Raghav in his house in a big fight. Raghav gets the best of him, but he doesn't kill him, and he lets him leave. But Layak comes back, and he confesses everything to him.
तेरी बीवी को
He goes,
हारमन ने
yeah,
मैंने मारा था.
he did it. He killed his wife. He panicked. He explains what happened and what actually happened in the scene too.
दिमाग में क्या आया 2 मिनट के लिए तेरी
Now,
बच्चा गिर गया था बीवी
there's
चिल्ला
also
रही थी
a
अचानक से
dirty
मेरे
cop
अंदर से गन
who knows that Raghav has done these murders, and he wants the money. So if he doesn't get the money, he's going to turn him in. Layak goes to this dirty cop and confesses to the murders. So Raghav won't go to jail. He'll go to jail. And it's his penance. Now, he's worked with a social worker who was the one that tried to get this pardon originally. And Raghav used her too. And then the scene. So after he confesses to killing the people he didn't kill that Raghav killed, it flashes forward 7 months later. Now, when Layak talked to the social worker, he told her I was lying. He was lying about the cancer. He said, I made myself sick. I didn't have cancer. Well, he did have cancer because he dies 7 months later. And the social worker goes to see Raghav and says that that Layak died, but he did what he did because he wanted to give Raghav a second chance. So he ended up being the empathetic, compassionate one, where Raghav became the bad guy. That's what I mean about this film as far as the revenge went. It was so weird because you hated Siddiqui's character in the beginning, and Varun was so the emotion of going through this, being alone, flashbacks to his dancing with his wife, in his head. It was brutal. In fact, the girl who's a hooker in this, who is friends with Layak, he connects with her to try to get information, even has a relationship with her, physical, nothing else. But everybody's kind of not great in this. And the one who seemed to have the redemption arc was Layak, but he died in prison. So it was, yeah, I thought the story was fantastic because it really did put the whole revenge thing upside down. So I gave the story an 8. I really liked it. I really did. Performances, outstanding. Varun, who I've seen in a lot of stuff, and he's always a little plays it light, funny. No, I'm not. That's not a criticism either. I like him in those roles, but in this, he was haunted, and the turn his character takes, the vengeance, and the pure evil that he becomes to get his revenge, and Nawazuddin, I'm telling you, that amazing performance, because you want him dead at the beginning of this film. And then slowly, it starts to chip away. Even his hooker girlfriend has a new guy, and you could see it how he's kind of hurt because he when he gets out of prison he dies because his hair's gray. He dyes it all black. He gets a nice clothes. Go see her. Um, he was outstanding, and frankly, I'm trying to think of a movie I didn't like him in. Even bad movies he's been in, he's been good. Like that Rat a Kelly. Not a great movie. He was excellent in it. So, everyone else was, but it's those two. It's those two. The women in it were good too. You know, but those two carry this film, and they were outstanding. And I gave their performances an 8. Just fantastic. Now the music, not big musical numbers, but effective. There's a scene where after his family's killed, he's kind of wandering around, and he almost gets hit by a truck because he's walking in the middle of the road, and they end up beating him up. And the song is "My Loneliness Is My Destiny." Kind of fit, right? The second song is when one of those scenes where he's imagining himself dancing with Misha. You know, just and they do a couple of scenes like that where he imagines that. Uh, the third song, foreshadowing, "You're Closer to Your End." So again, projecting what's going to happen going forward. And the only, I would say, Bollywood number, the production number is during the. I gave it a 7. Overall, my verdict on this film, I really like this film a lot. It was just you're rooting for him in the beginning, and then you're rooting for the bad guy at the end. So to me, that's get you thinking like that. I gave the verdict an 8. I thought it was really really good. I liked it a lot. So again, let me know if you saw it and what you thought about Badlapur. I really liked it. So that's my feeling on that. So do me a favor. We're almost at the 3,000. We're getting there. Uh, that's my big goal. I got to hit big on some film. So far, some of these films I'm getting like 99 views, compared to the. I had one film, I did a toxic reaction. There was almost 1,200 views, and they gave me a copyright hit the next day. So I had to repost it. Now it's like 500. I don't know what's going on with that. But anyway, so do me a favor, subscribe, hit the notification button, hit the like button, and as always, please share so we can build this maniac community. How many? Maniac. One maniac at a time. Okay? All right. This is John Talks in Cinema. We'll be back with another movie review, a trailer reaction, a song reaction, or something else. Thanks for watching. We will talk to you.